Well, good morning. Here I am in Wyke in North Leeds, and today I'm doing a soft washing job. I'm going to be cleaning the rendered walls on this lovely terraced cottage. The render's got a bad infestation of red algae, more scientifically known as Trentopolia. And all over the property you can see it streaking down the walls. It's really quite an eyesore. And this is what I mean about it streaking down. It really does look terrible. And around the back of the property the streaks don't look quite so pronounced, but it just looks dirty and grubby. The whole lot needs cleaning up. My name's Paul Driver and I'm the owner of JetReady. We're known for exterior cleaning and restoration services, and quite simply, we rush in when others rush away. So because this is a soft washing job, I'm not going to be relying on my pressure washer a great deal, because with soft washing we treat the surfaces with a chemical process instead. Now the customer's a bit fed up with this and they're wanting a fairly immediate turnaround, so I'm going to do this job in two parts. Firstly, I'm going to apply a sodium hypochlorite based stain remover. That will quickly get rid of an awful lot of the stains on the render. And then after rinsing everything down, I'm going to apply a biocide post-treatment. The biocide will kill all the Trentopolia and algae and deep-seated lichens absolutely stone dead. And it'll also start a self-cleansing process whereby the surfaces will get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner over the weeks and months that follow. Now the thing is about soft washing chemicals is that they are poisonous, noxious and corrosive, so a high degree of safety is required when using them. I'm going to be wearing full PPE today, so that's gloves, overalls, eye protection and a respirator. When it comes to working in this passageway, I'm going to be fully covered up and I'm going to be wearing a full face respirator as well, because it's highly likely that some of these chemicals will actually be raining down on top of me. So the equipment I'm going to be using is a window cleaner's battery-powered backpack that works as a reservoir and a pump for the diluted chemical. For the lower areas, I'll be applying that with a handheld sprayer. For the upper areas, I'm going to be using a water-fed pole with a brush, exactly the same kit used by a window cleaner. But unlike a window cleaner, I won't be using pure water, of course. I'm going to be using the diluted chemical mixture, and I'll be brushing this onto the render. As mentioned earlier, when soft washing, we don't make a great deal of use of the pressure wash, but it's still useful for certain parts of the process. Firstly, I'm going to drench all the soil and the foliage on this flower border, and that will stop any of the plants becoming damaged by the chemicals. And secondly, I'm going to apply a stream of water to the rendered surfaces to give them a mechanical clean. This will help to remove any loose organic matter, and it'll also prime the surfaces ready for the soft washing process. See how the red algae looks a lot worse when it's wet? It really is quite unsightly.
Well, what chemical do you use? We've got a house that's rendered. We often get the green from the trees affecting it because we would go to white as well.
These modern renders are very susceptible to algae, commonly red algae. It's really bad on this side.
Yeah.
I haven't cleaned that yet. They're essentially biocide type chemicals and sort of industrial stain removers. But between them, they kill the algae dead.
Yeah.
And the chemical sort of soaks into the surface and leaves a little bit of a residue,
Okay.
which kind of reactivates when it gets wet.
Yeah.
So
it's got a longevity to it.
It's got a longevity to it.
But you still need to do it once a year, would you?
No, you probably find it's better than that. You know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
itself?
Because a lot depends
No,
on.
yeah.
I mean, here they've got all of this tree
Yeah,
cover here,
That's what we've got.
and
Yeah.
so once it's clean, I then rinse it down, and then I put the biocide treatment on, which gives it the
Okay.
longevity.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
so in a day you could pretty much get the house done?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Have you got a card?
I have,
thing?
yeah.
So we won't need it now for a few months. but
Well,
I'm
keep it
sure-
on the notice
Yeah.
board, and you know when
No, we
when
will.
you think the time's right, give me a call.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already on its way, isn't it?
It is.
It's to be expected.
Yeah.
Once this is all killed off,
All right.
there might be some sort of greyish,
Okay.
very faint patches, dead algae. Okay, once it's dead, what then starts is a process of weathering, really.
Right.
Just the elements. And over the coming weeks, that any grey patches will just fade. If we get a couple of months down the road, and you've still got some stubborn grey which hasn't moved, that's the time to give me a call and say, come and have a look, and then I'll just spot treat any outstanding areas. But I would expect it'll all come up pretty well, actually, the way it's going at the moment. Right, time for this narrow passageway, full PPE. I'm going to be wearing a full face respirator. Don't like wearing these, they quickly get fogged up and difficult to see, but there's absolutely no alternative here. Finding it quite hard when I'm working so close to the wall, the brush straight above me, just to get proper coverage. I'm going to try switching to a sprayer, see if that makes life easier for me. This stain remover is working very quickly, and actually it looks quite dramatic. Before and after. The stain removal process is doing really well. This wall's looking fantastically clean now, except for these stubborn marks up at the top. I'm also starting to run out of daylight as well. So what I've decided to do is have a bit of a rinse down now, get everything cleaned up, leave this working overnight. I'm going to come back tomorrow, give everything a good rinse down, and then apply some biocide. If any of these stains are still outstanding, we'll just leave them and they'll weather away over the coming days. So next morning we're back in Wyke, and I'm pleased to say that this job is starting to look really good. I didn't rinse off the top of the wall last night where we had those outstanding brown stains, so that's carried on working overnight and all of those red stains are gone now. We're just left with some residual grey staining which will biodegrade and blow away in the coming days. It's a customer that I'm friendly with, so as a goodwill I've just offered to soft wash this little bit of patio they've got at the bottom of the garden. So once I've completed that, I'm going to apply biocide to these 3 rendered walls and then call it a day. A couple of hours work tops. So this is probably a good time for an explainer. What's a biocide? Well, a biocide is a chemical that neutralises and kills biofilm. By biofilm we're talking about algae, molds, mildew, lichen, other kinds of bacteria and so on. And it's biofilm that causes your exterior surfaces to become discoloured. Once the biofilm is dead, it stops producing chlorophyll and other compounds, and these are the things that make your exterior surfaces go green. And it also starts a process of self-cleansing, where over time the surfaces get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. It's really clever stuff. So I'm going to carry on with my handheld equipment for the lower levels, and then I'll switch to using a water-fed pole for the upper levels. Well, we're about done now, and I've got to say that's a remarkable transformation. This building was absolutely covered in red algae, also known as Trentopolia, virulent, aggressive and very difficult to treat. It was also quite a tricky job to do because of this really narrow passageway, only 2 feet wide in places, with a real risk of chemicals being rained down from above. Health and safety really important. We've got some minor staining up at the roof line. Think of that as dead bodies. It's completely dead now, and that will biodegrade, fade away and disappear over the coming weeks. Speaking with Sean, the homeowner, last night, absolutely blown away. He says it looks like the first day it was done 9 years ago. So until next time, folks, all the best to all of you.